We remain in North America, having travelled from Florida to the Pacific Northwest and now back to the East Coast to end this trio of rounds in the Americas to start the season. 200 miles away from the Atlantic Ocean in the city of Norfolk lies Halifax County, deep in the south of Virginia, and with it, one of the most testing, grueling racetracks on the continent. The 5.3-kilometre Virginia International Raceway, more commonly known as VIR, a 13-turn circuit reopened at the start of the millennium after its closure in the mid-1970s. The circuit has become a staple of American motorsport courtesy of its challenging layouts and lengthy backstraight open to overtakes. We should see plenty of thrills and indeed some spills this evening. And also for those of you rFactor2 fans sat at home, there is also something special for you coming up after the sprint race this evening. So strap yourselves in for an evening of entertainment. It's round 3 of the rFactor2 GT Challenge Series powered by VCO, live here on the race, and commentary this evening, as always, myself, Lewis McGlade, alongside me, Aidan Millward.
Yes, I mean, VIR is one of the best tracks for sim racing because you've got to keep it well within those white lines. This isn't one of these multi-million-dollar Formula One tracks with all the runoff for days into the next postcode. This is absolutely brilliant. If you well, it's not going to be brilliant if you dip a wheel in the grass. You're going to be off, and we're going to be watching that through turns 11 and 12, which is more commonly known as Oak Tree, which is where we think everybody's going to go off if indeed they do.
Yeah, and that back straightaway one between 12 and 13, where we're going to see a lot of slipstream. It sort of crests a few times going down there. We saw an incident in the GT Pro race between R8G Esports' teammates, Hani Al-Sadti and Yuri Kazdorp in the latter moments of the race. Quite a thrill it was. Of course, we're in round 3 at the moment, which means that we've passed a relegation round. So we've had some drivers drop their way out of the session. We've had some drivers move up to split 1. Those drivers moving up to split 1, Miguel de los Rios, who, by the way, is looking pretty fast here today for DX Droids. So we'll keep our close eye on him. Herman Stocky as well, Anita Velik's driver. There's 2 Zansho Sim Sport drivers with Dan Kell and Jack McIntyre as well, and the other new addition to the grid, Juan Carlos Fernandez. Here's how the format works. Every couple of rounds, we see 5 drivers at the bottom of the division move down to split 2, and then we see some drivers move back up to split 1. We'll see what's happening in split 2 a little bit later on as well, because after we finish the feature race, we'll go and check out what's happening in split 2. We'll find out what's happening down there. We'll find out who's doing well and moving themselves towards a split 1 position. It was quite a thriller last time at Portland. I get the feeling we're going to see the same thing here.
Yeah, we've had penalties applied from the last round, so some of the championship standings have been altered a little bit. We've got 2 people in joint second place, so anything can happen, especially if whoever is the ultimate fastest for the sprint race ends up qualifying near the back for the reverse grid feature race later on.
Yeah, I see some drivers there dropping out of the session. Chris Shepherd, a big name as well. Jeffrey Rietveld, Matteo Caruso also dropped down with Mark Kreis and Jan Venninger out of split 1 down to split 2. Whether they'll actually make a reappearance later in the season, we'll have to wait and see. You speak of the penalties, a few drivers and some very big notes coming from that. Like you say, the championship order's a bit of a mess in comparison. There is your calendar. Nick Jacobs received quite a large penalty. It was only a 10-second penalty. It was Jesper Eriksson, who's down now in the drop zone, who received a 60-second time penalty courtesy of causing an incident inside the orange zone on lap 1. So it's a doubled penalty. You've got Chris Shepherd, who dropped out of the season, out of split 1. He had a penalty. Michael Smedel, our championship leader, picked up 3 penalties, all 30 seconds time penalties. So a minute and a half's worth of penalties just from the feature race. Also, Louis-Philippe Capmajan picked up a penalty himself. And Michael Smedel actually got another 10-second time penalty on top of that, which has put Louis-Philippe Capmajan and Michael Smedel both under probation coming into this round. Now, while Smedel, we'd kind of accept they're top of the session, those 2 as well, by the way, as we are here in qualifying at the Virginia International Raceway. Those 2 we kind of expect to be very, very strong in the sprint race, but obviously with how things work here in the rFactor2 GT Challenge Series powered by VCO, you see in race 2 a top 10 reverse grid, and that's really going to throw things up. They have to be careful in this session.
It's so difficult to overtake here. There's really turn one that Miguel de los Rios is heading towards right now, or maybe not because he's pulling over, just finished his lap. But he's in 6th place, and there is also the corner that is called roller coaster for reasons, well, you'll see later on.
Very obvious, yeah.
Round the outside moves happen quite often in there, but you've got to trust the other guy you're racing, otherwise, look, it's just green. It's a lot like somewhere like Thruxton or Croft, where it's just like, yeah, once you're on that grass, you're off. There ain't no coming back from it.
It is a hard circuit. There are some difficult corners here. Here's one of the recent transitions into split one. Dan Cow was sort of looking to just have a comfortable round. A 41.5 is not good. He could definitely go quicker than that. Never mind, down in 25th place. Herman Stocky, by the way, has received a disqualification from this qualifying session, down in 27th place. Not sure what's happened to him, but he's just promoted himself up, already ahead of his teammate in the championship, Rory McDuff, by the way. So he's come in from split. He's done well in split 2, winning the first race of the season there, has come into this, already ahead of his teammate, yet disqualified from the session, going to have to start from 27th, whilst his teammates are currently qualified 14th and 15th. We see Casper Stoltz to the line to go 11th.
Could it be that he's gone off at some point and cut too many corners? Because that happens. That happened in the Virtual Endurance Championship last year. I think 2 or 3 guys got disqualified for doing that. So that's part of what happens when you do go off here. Is I'm just watching Yuri Timon just go flying through towards Oak Tree Corner.
Yeah, we see Alan Terzic, of course, purple in that middle sector. There has been a rebalance of performance. The Callaway has had a certain amount of weight added onto. Oh, no, I think, yeah, no, the weight's been put on the Callaway. Some weight's come off various cars. The Ferrari drivers will tell you that the Callaway's not been bopped enough. The Callaway drivers to say that, oh, no, it's perfectly fine the way it is. You take what you wish with that. Alan Terzic, though, race winner last time out at Portland, and goes to 6th place. On board with Matthew Williams, who was very impressive in race 1 last time out. There was an incident between himself and I think it was Turka Hakkinen, dropped him to 6th place in that first race, and then there was just issues galore in race 2. Not so much of his own volition, just kind of didn't really go his way. He did qualify in 5th place last time out as well. Ibrahim Khan, by the way, in 3rd place after a front row qualifying position in the previous round, currently sat up in 4th place, so a few 3rd place rather, a few good qualifiers coming in here. That 39.8 though from Mikkel Smedel, as much as it may look safe, we'd expect some drivers to go faster, but we know from practice that we've just come out of that he can do about 39.6 or 39.5, so he has more time, does the Czech driver.
Yeah, Matthew Williams just coming through to Oak Tree now, called that because there used to be a massive oak tree there, and then this long straight, so we could see some slipstream along here later on, and the track climbs up the hill. They'll be in 6th gear come the end of this straight, and then it's hold on tight because there's a reason this is called roller coaster.
Such a fantastic section of corners.
Look at that, in a GT3 car as well, having to slow down, and you can actually see more from this camera than the driver would be seeing inside the cockpit view. So, like blind entries, blind crests. It's got a great flow to it, this track.
Yeah, and then Hogpen, the final corner, is absolute commitment. You always run it far out to the grass. It's terrifying, truly terrifying to the line. I don't think this is going to be an improvement for Matthew Williams. It certainly isn't.
Fast final sector,
did a fast final sector, absolutely. Was about a 10th down on the previous time that had been set. Definitely got enough time to get out there and do another run. A reminder for you joining as Smedel's improving himself. For those of you joining maybe for the first time in the rFactor2 GT Challenge Series, maybe you've seen it in GT Pro as well. Both series holding the same qualifying, the same format. Qualifying here though, the 15-minute session, once that timer hits 0, the session is done. We move straight on. There is no waiting for people to finish their final laps. The session is just complete the moment we cross over. There we go. A 39.685 down into the 6s, looking to secure himself a 3rd consecutive pole position. Third consecutive pole position for Varga. It would be his 2nd in a row. Yuri Toman, who took the first one of the season. So things are looking pretty strong for them.
Yeah, Rory McDuff into 16th place. Had a great race too last time out. I don't know if that's because everybody in front fell off, but he managed to make... It was probably the biggest climber out of all of that at the end, as Luis Felipe Campi-Majan abandons that lap. Went a bit wide at Oak Tree Corner, but he'll get Probably one more attempt as Kasper Stolzer flying that Ferrari through the final sector. That little bit there is another part where drivers can go off and cause a bit of carnage if it all goes wrong, but he's down on his personal best through sectors 1 and 2. What's going to happen as he crosses the line? It's a 130, well, it's a 140.5, so he's lost 0.3 over the course of that lap. Going wide at the final corner probably didn't help, and here's his teammate Jordi Veers coming through past the guest houses. You may recognise those from a Top Gear episode. Into a bit deep into Oak Tree, but maximise the exit, slow in, fast out. Up past the club pit lane. Yeah, and he's on a personal best at the minute.
He's looking pretty decent. He did run a little bit wide at Oak Tree there, but either way, for Jordi Veers, again, and I'm not going to like I'm going to leave it as we normally do. The Ferraris normally, as Alan Terzic moves up to 5th place, they say that their race pace is not as good as their qualifying pace, and their qualifying pace normally really isn't that good either. But they always say their race pace, they kind of struggle on tyres, and yet every time we go into the feature race, they always seem to do well. They, a podium back in Sebring, a win back in Portland, qualifying high here and trying to sort of keep yourself inside the top 10, that important reverse grid spot. Could be absolutely crucial. Miguel de los Rios, by the way, who's inside the top 7, teammate of the driver that were on board with David Serra, obviously moving up into split 1, doing a great job in 7th place inside the top 10. I will just note that the drivers like Turka Hakkinen seeming to struggle here, had a great drive. He's now out of his qualifying session. He is done. 17th place is all he'll get. Had a great run last time, had a few incidents in race 2, but a great run in race 1 back in Portland International Raceway, and of course a race winner on Saturday in the Virtual Endurance Championship at the Nürburgring in the GTE class. So certainly got some recent form on him that's going pretty well. But Nida Velik's only 17th and 18th in this session. It's not going very well. Paul Auguste Lana crosses the line in 19th place. He received an infraction last time, so a bit of like a slap on the wrist, a bit of a warning. But not too bad.
No, it's better than being on your last warning for like Kapamajan and Smiddle currently are, as they occupy the front row. Andrea Terzi and
what's Matt Richards got?
Oh, Matt Richards has got a
13th. Did not improve.
No, but this is a track that some drivers go really, really well at, and some drivers go terribly at. Certain tracks certain drivers favour certain tracks. Just speaking from personal experience, Silverstone's probably my best track, but I go badly at somewhere like the Nürburgring, for instance. It's just like some drivers like the track different to others.
Absolutely, we're on board with Ilias Fernandez, who's currently sat. I thought he was sat a little bit higher up than he was in the championship, but no, he is down in 23rd place in the standings, so he's not safe of relegation. Moves himself up to 12th place. And if he can kind of finish race 1, race 2 in that kind of scenario, he'll be looking pretty good. Here is your grid, though. Smeedle on the pole position from Louis-Philippe Capamajanda. The 2 drivers under probation on the front row of the grid. How's that one going to fare in race 1? Ibrahim Khan up there as well. Matthew Williams and Alan Terzic second in the championship, joint second in the championship. In 5th place, D'Amelio, Toman, De Los Rios, Zviers, and Nick Jacobs inside the top 10. That's a good qualifying session from him. He's in the 10th in the standings and now inside the top 10 in the session as well. He'll be doing pretty well from there. Jordi Zviers, who's currently 5th in the championship, maybe a little bit disappointed with 9th place, but we know these kind of drivers race a little bit better than they necessarily qualify. The way the format works today, as always, in GT Challenge and GT Pro, is that we see a sprint race of 15 minutes formation lap with a rolling start. Then we roll it into a 45-minute feature race, top 10 reverse grid in that race. Again, same rolling start, the same sort of, chaos in a sense that we'd normally expect. Here are your points of interest at the Virginia International Raceway. It is a true test of a driver. When it comes to tracks inside North America, it is one track that challenges drivers more than most. It is particularly difficult, and also with that, very unforgiving. You compared it, Aidan, to circuits like Thruxton and stuff like that inside the UK. Now, not necessarily that the circuit is the same, but in the sense that if you make a mistake and run wide, you're going for quite a hike on the outside of the circuit. Let's take a look then at the grid. Smeedle, Philippe Capmajan on the front row of the grid with Ibrahim Khan and Matthew Williams on the second row. How will they fare? After a little bit of a controversial round from Ibrahim Khan last time out, Alan Terzic and Luca D'Amelio, Yuri Toman and Miguel de los Rios on his Split 1 debut. Pretty nice qualifying in 8th place for DX Droid. See how he will fare. Jordi Zviers and Nick Jacobs, that top 10. Jesper Eriksson, who's down in the drop zone at the moment, leads Ilias Fernandez just outside of the top 10. Needs to build on that as the AAA Esports driver, because that's not ideal for the young Swede. Timotej Andonovski heads Kasper Stolzer, and Matt Richards joint second of the championship, only 15th in qualifying, with David Serra behind him in 16th place for DX Droids. Mohamed Patel not going to be happy with that, but neither will Rory McDuff or Turka Hakkinen. Paul August Lana rounds out the top 20 for Volante Racing. Behind that, in 21st position, Roman Yakubovic with Herman Stocky, Vlad Tokarev and Donat Prodan. Directly behind that, of course, the Volante Racing Ferrari. They've got a couple of Corvettes on the grid, and Ferrari as well. Andrea Terzi in the Porsche with Volante Racing's Paulia Honan behind. Dan Cal, the last, down in 27th place, last Zancho on the grid with Juan Carlos Fernandez down in 28th. Final driver on the grid. Oh, he's not even on the grid anymore. I'm assuming that... Oh, no, Herman Stocky did get his DQ unraveled. That's why he went up to 21st. Never mind. I'm with it. I'm fully awake. It's fine. Jack McIntyre's missing. Not sure who the other driver... Vlad Tokarev. I know we've seen him. I don't know who the other one's missing. Jack McIntyre's definitely missing, though.
Answers on a postcard, please.
Absolutely. Might take a little bit of a while for us to get that information, and that's the problem. Yeah, you do you.
Yeah. Answers in a Discord private message, please.
or TeamSpeak. I'm not.
TeamSpeak, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. RBM Esports, here's a team. Nearly had 2 drivers in this split. Of course, Louis-Philippe Capmajan. Jack Noller, who started the season in Split 2 quite nicely, had a terrible Portland International Raceway. He'll still be looking to get onto
Remember
Split 1.
double file, and you should bunch up.
Come the final round. There we go. Double file is the call from Mr. Jimmy Allison, the dulcet tones of the Dane. Desperate to tell us what's going on track. Of course, we'll be hearing his voice a few more times, being that of race director here. We've got a few Callaways up towards the front. The Callaway Cup, not so much a Zansho Cup anymore. I know Nico Barkley will be sat there for one Acco thinking it's a Zansho Cup. We've got a few Zanshos on the grid, maybe one less than expected with Jack McIntyre's non-appearance. We'll come through roller coaster and we'll get ourselves ready. What are we expecting to see here, Aidan?
Well, I'm hoping that we don't get carnage, especially with Smeedle and Capamajan on their final warnings. But this part of the circuit, that they're going to be like, just come on, just go, but they can't. They've got to wait until the final corner, and then it's down to Smeedle to decide when he releases that pit lane speed limiter, and then we can go racing for 15 minutes. Well, 14 minutes and 14 and a half minutes, give or take.
Back-to-back pole positions then from Mikael Smeedle, looking for back-to-back sprint race victories in the rFactor2 GT Challenge Series Season 2, powered by VCO. We're about ready to get underway here in Virginia. VIR about ready to go, going to cross the line to start the race. Smeedle on that pole position. The start line is quite a long way down. Away he goes and getting covered off. Louis-Philippe Capmajan was almost trying to force his way through ahead of Ibrahim Khan. That is a great start from Mikael Smeedle. Down into the horseshoe for the first time. Matthew Williams trying to go around the outside of the Sancho Cylinder Sport driver as well in the background. Alan Terzic getting side to side with Luca D'Amelio, who he fended off the race victory back in the Pacific Northwest. A decent start for him to hold on to fifth place. Miguel de los Rios being departed down the order, now getting dropped by Jesper Eriksson, second in the championship as well. Matt Richards has made a decent start up into 11th position. We currently focus on Ibrahim Khan, who's in that 4th place as Jesper Eriksson's run wide, coming through left hook. Oh, it's a big wide as they go into the snake. He's still going to hang on to 10th place, just ahead of Timotej Andonovski. Matt Richards behind this had to lift out. It's opened the door for Mohamed Patel. The 2017 FSR World Champion goes through. Oh, there's a big off in the background.
Ooh, yeah,
Rory McDuff.
Yeah, Rory's gone.
Oh my goodness me, goes bad to worse.
He's back on the track though. He's I mean, I'm using the new UI and it said he started 18th, he's now 28. That's good. I like that. That's very useful. Thank you, Marcel. He's dropped right to the back of the field, but he's right on the back of Paulia Honan in front of him as we watch the field at the top end of the order coming up towards roller coaster for the first time. John Lazy Esports car following the Corvette of Nick Jacobs. He's going to have a little bit of a sniff. Oh, he's going to fire down the inside, and that's how carnage happens. And that was almost an F.
That was almost an F. Managed to keep it on the road, but now Nick Jacobs is getting forced out by Ilias Fernandez. Turka Hakkinen as well, directly behind, has to lift out of it. They're going side by side ahead as Jordi Spears has been off the road, down to 12th place. Oh, Archie, no. Down to 13th. He has dropped it down the order. Not quite sure what's happened to him, but
Fernandez
for
is off as well.
Esports Academy, we're seeing a little bit of carnage here. There's only one Jean Lacy Esports Academy driver up there now inside the top 10, and that's Alan Terzic, who's doing the duty up in 5th place, doing it for Denti as he always does. Mikael Smidler have got a little bit of side-by-side. It is relentless here. Miguel de los Rios and Jesper Eriksson battling it out over 9th place. Gets it back in line. Yellow flag out in Sector 1 as we head through NASCAR Bend.
No one is wanting to concede any positions in this race in the first few minutes, as we're now on board with Turka Hakkinen for Nita Velox. Like we were saying earlier, we're expecting these guys to be a little bit further up. Have you spotted something?
We've got a double retirement. Paulie Ahonen and Herman Stocky. Herman Stocky fresh up into split 1. Retires from the... Yuri Toman. Yuri Toman is gone.
Just get out the wall.
Here comes the replay button from Ruben Carrera Alves, our broadcast director. He is going to be a busy man. Herman Stocky's rejoin, by the way, was what can only be described as definite penalty. Not ideal from Yuri Toman there. I didn't actually catch that.
I've got rFactor2 up on one screen trying to look at what's happening there, and I've got the Discord stream on another one to see what's happening here while my printer's going off.
Fantastic
Stuff.
Jordi Spears getting a move done on Matt Richards. Those two have battled it out a few times recently, and Jordi Spears, of course, they were 1 and 2, closing in on each other back in the Sebring International Raceway in the opening feature race of the season. Jordi trying to catch down the Welshman. This time it's the other way around, and not for race victory. 1.2 seconds, 1.5 seconds clear now. Mikael Smidl ahead of the field, running away for yet another sprint race victory. Sets the fastest lap of the race, as we'd kind of expect from the Czech driver. See what he does in race 1. Here's a replay then. This is on board with Rory McDuff, and saw his departure down the road. Gets covered off, I believe. That's by Ilias Fernandez. And yes, that is very naughty. Oh, it's Juan. It might be. No, Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos Fernandez. Matthew Williams, by the way.
He's into third. He's doing very well.
he's in third. He was trying to get a move done on Philippe Capamajan. We've got Matt Richards. Matt Richards 23rd. Matt Richards is gone. Matt Richards has gone.
He's
second in the championship. Matt Richards has departed down the order. He's going to come on just ahead of Rory McDuff. What has happened to Matthew Richards? We've got further instance. Yuri Toman's dropped down now to 16th
Well, that's
place.
John Lacy Esports car facing the wrong way.
Casper Stolzer. This is pretty much what we
and he's missing a rear wing
here at the Virginia International Raceway. And Danovsky gets up to 16th. What's happened to Matthew Williams?
Wait, yeah, what happened to...
Oh,
Can we just slow down a bit? Whoa, who was that that's just gone flying halfway across the... that was Rory McDuff again.
Oh, my goodness.
He's just...
Okay, yeah, we need to... Oh, sorry, yeah. Alan Terzic, sorry. Sorry, let's focus at the front. Alan Terzic just got through into 3rd place, ahead of Ibrahim Khan, ahead of Luca D'Amelio. So 2 Sanchos inside the top 5. Let's keep this focused on what is going on, and we'll try and catch up with everything happening in the race, because it is crazy here at the Virginia International Raceway. Here's a replay of what happened to Herman Stocky. Watch this rejoin. It is less than ideal.
Yeah, so a little bit of deja vu, and dear.
That's a definite penalty. That's a slam dunk if ever I've seen one. Oh dear.
I need an adult.
This man, though, is doing well with his probation at the moment, trying to do his best to stay away from literally everyone, as is Philippe Capamajan. Both having a fairly trouble-free race at the moment, with Terzic behind, second in the championship. He'll be very happy with that. Spoke to him. He was like, "I'll stop applying the pressure to me," after, joking the odd time about how he needs to win some more races. He seems to do well with pressure, does Terzic. Here's his teammate, Jordi Spears, a little bit further down the order, just inside the top 10, working it up because of courtesy of everyone's offs and boffs. I said to Dan Kell prior to this, by the way, who's currently running in 20th place, I said to him, if you're going to start at the back, just keep out of trouble, because there's going to be carnage. What have we seen over the opening 7 minutes of this race? Absolute carnage.
Casper Stoltz's brought his car into the pit lane because it was missing a rear wing, so he's going to be there he's going to be there quite literally a while. Mikael Smuda with the current fastest lap of the race. Ibrahim Khan, Luca D'Amelio 4th and 5th. But Matt Richards is not going to be happy with how he tumbled down the order, as Jordi Sveers probably going to send it for... Oh, there you go.
Easy move in the slipstream. Need to find out what happened to Matt Richards. I know we're getting a replays left, right, and centre. This is there we go. On cue, thank you, mate. Dive down the inside. Yuri Toman, is he going to send him at NASCAR Bend? Oh, it's kind of hard to tell from that angle if there was a pinch, but I get the feeling that yeah. Oh, there's a bit of damage on the rear end of that car as well.
Live stewarding will take care of that one, I think.
Indeed. Well, we'll see. So Jordi Sveers up to 9th place for Matt Richards. Why I say Matthew? It's because we've got a Matthew Williams and a Matt Richards, and I know that Matt Richards doesn't like being called Matthew. So we'll call him Matt from now on.
He can't hear us. It's fine.
He can't hear us yet. Yuri Toman's gone. Yuri Toman's gone. Here's the fast forward button. He's pulling out of the race. He's pulling out of the race. Yuri Toman out of the opening race of the day. We've got Jesper Eriksson, by the way, he's moved up into 7th place. Here's a replay. I'm going to let you talk us through this one. What's happening?
Okay, right. This is Yuri Toman behind Matt Richards. Now let's see what happens.
No.
Oh, he's just fired that up the inside. That was never going to happen.
Yeah, maybe Matt Richards probably could have given... Oh, and he did it again as well?
Yep, he's just going to do it to Alan.
Oh, is this what Casper Stoltz? Is this Casper Stoltz? Is this what happens to Casper? Oh, it is what happens. Oh, Casper does need to give a bit more room.
Oh dear.
There,
oh dear. Oh, that. Right.
Casper maybe needed to give a bit more room there, but the that was not so ideal. Well, what a frantic start to the race. I don't even know what to say. Mohamed Patel battling it out with Nick Jacobs. I'm speechless, mate. It's not a good trait for a commentator. Jordi Sveers, by the way, getting a move done on Timotej Antonovsky. Antonovsky fresh off a podium in... that's silly from Antonovsky. And the position is going to go the way of Jordi Sveers. Antonovsky really needed to not turn in so aggressively there. I was about to give him some praise there for getting his podium in the LMHC category of the Virtual Endurance Championship at the Nürburgring. That, though, kind of doesn't deserve praise. That was not a good move from Antonovsky.
There was something about coming in like a wrecking ball. I think that's just everybody just chill.
We do need to take... Well, look. We can take one of two approaches here. We can either laugh at it and praise the good, or we can start really getting into it. David Serra. Oh no, that's a praise. That's a praise of the good. That's a praise of the good. That was
that's Daniel Ricciardo style.
Absolutely expecting that to be absolute carnage. They're going side by side up towards NASCAR Bend. Oh, Nick Jacobs does that nicely back on the inside. There was a touch of contact there as he's trying to cover off Paul August-Lana, who's just left it sort of 50-50 down the inside. You can't really leave it there. Roman Yakubovic, by the way, up into 17th place in the Porsche. Another replay. Aidan, I'm leaving this one to you. This is how he retired.
This is right. We shouldn't laugh because they're better than us, but yeah, Yuri Toman just being that little bit of contact just speared him into the infield, and he's had enough. He's out.
He's had his fair share of dishing it out as well as having it dished his way. So yeah, the initial pole sitter of the season, Yuri Toman, departs the race. Jesper Eriksson said he was in basically in relegation trouble at the moment. Jesper Eriksson, yes, he's coming under attack from Jordi Sveers, who's moving his way up the order at a fast rate of knots. Great drive at the moment from Jordi Sveers. But Jesper Eriksson down to 8th place. Still a great drive from him inside the top 10 as well. Alan Terzic, just a little bit of a note as we hit 4 minutes to go crossing the line. Alan Terzic is closing in on Louis-Philippe Capamajane at the front. We also got a request from Mr. Big Boss Marcel Offermans to... can we watch the race in slow motion? Which I would love right now, because we need a breather.
Do we have to commentate in slow motion as well?
I don't know. I hope not. No, that's how he speaks, because he's Finnish. Turka Hakkinen, he's a lovely bloke.
We like Turka.
He's a lovely bloke, and also had a great weekend on Saturday after taking race victory. Here's one of these super special Ruben Carrera Alva slow-mos as we see Donat Prodan going nicely over the curb into the snake section. I kind of get the feeling that we're going to reveal a car backwards here at any moment. This is going up towards South Bend. It's him. It's him. He's the one going off. Oh.
Yeah. Now, yep, there we go.
Bang. Oh, that's a biggie. That's
an F. F's in chat.
F's in chat. But of course, they do have a drop round for all of the drivers in Split 1. We come towards the end of the season. So for the drivers like Matt Richards, they do have a drop score, which I'm assuming for him, bearing in mind where he's currently qualified, unless he has a great race too, it's probably going to be applied here. And we'll have to wait and see. Turka Hakkinen trying to move himself up past Elias Van. Someone in the wall in the background. Who was that? Was that Vlad Tokarev? Certainly was. It looked like an Aston Martin. And there we are. We've got Oak Tree catching out some drivers, and Vlad Tokarev being one of those further down in the championship. Oh, Turka to the outside. Now he's going to have to hold it around there on Ilias Fernandez through roller coaster. He's got the inside for the next part. Ilias Fernandez is going to hang on. Oh, that was, hold your breath moment.
Yeah.
A couple of laps to go here. Penultimate lap about to begin. And Mohamed Patel now deciding that he wants to make a move on Turka Hakkinen.
Well, Alan Terzic is going to be laughing by the end of this, isn't he? He's gained so many points over Matt Richards in this race.
Certainly has. Oh, there we go. Nearly opened the door for Nick Jacobs as well. He's going to try and hang it around the outside. Is coming into Oak Tree. We'll go back, by the way, to Alan Terzic in a moment. We look at David Serra as not able to go around the outside was Nick Jacobs. Alan Terzic, by the way, if we can take a quick look at him, he's not settling for third place. Look at that. He has absolutely demolished the gap to Louis-Philippe Capmajane. Less than half a second. Talk us through this replay, Aidan.
Right, so Vlad Tokarev in the Aston Martin into Oak Tree. It's a bit hot. He's dropped on the grass and he's been sucked off into the barrier.
Indeed. Indeed he has. Alan Terzic then making a move. Going to make it to the inside, going into roller coaster on a driver that's under probation. Oh, he's had to go back to the outside. It's going to be heavy commitment from Alan Terzic. Oh,
contact,
back across.
And they're gone. They're all gone.
The Louis-Philippe Capmajane, Alan Terzic sending him. Don't know whose fault that was, but Philippe Capmajane has Gioeni into the barrier hard again. Oh my goodness me. Can this race give us anything more? This is going to become a battle. Oh my goodness me. Turka Hakkinen's now... Oh my goodness.
He's reversing out the way.
Oh my goodness me. Philippe Capmajane's now well down the order. I don't know if he's got going again. This is actually going to put the likes of Dan Kell up nearly towards the top 15. I thought he was going to move up there with Turka Hakkinen's demise, but this race, come on lads, let's clear. We know that I'm only this is my only really harsh bit at the moment for race one. We know that this is a hard track to go racing, but some of the driving is unacceptable. We need to clean this up. We need some good driving. We've seen some great stuff. Come on.
We're live on the race.
Exactly. They're two Zancho Sixport drivers, by the way. Luca D'Amelio and Ibrahim Khan doing quite well. Third and fourth place. Been fairly trouble-free through most of this race. Now promoted up to the podium position, courtesy of that incident between Alan Terzic and Louis-Philippe Capmajane. Answer on a postcard as to who was to blame in that one, because kind of hard to see. I know, I don't know if it depends on if you think Alan Terzic was up alongside enough.
Yeah, I know people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, but Jimmy's going to be ripping his hair out right now. Oh, hi, Timothy.
Antonovsky round. Oh, my goodness me. We made that joke a few too many times last round, acting as if it was a joke, but no, seriously, he's going to be... Oh, no, in the background, Ilias Fernandez into the barrier!
That's another Oak Tree.
Oak Tree. Here goes Mohamed Patel up into the top 10, Dan Kell into the top 15. This race is ridiculous. Come on, lads.
I was going to say before the incident with Alan Terzic and Capmajane that he probably wanted some sort of payback for what happened in the IndyCar series, but here's Mikael Smedel crossing the line to take another sprint race victory.
Yep, third of the season goes the way of Mikael Smedel. Just kind of drove around by himself under probation. That race will do well for him. Alan Terzic and Luca D'Amelio round out the podium. Our battle inside the bottom end of the top 10. Mohamed Patel is going to be able to hang on to that one as he's going to cross the line in 10th place. Decent drive from him. We at one point had only one driver from Joliet Esports Academy inside the top 10. We now have three as we cross the line to finish the sprint race. Nick Jacobs in 11th place. Dan Kell, great drive for him. 15th. Matt Richards recovered up to 17th place and got himself a point for his troubles. A lot of drivers. Rory McDuff retired in the last lap of that race. Oh my goodness me. This season is absolutely ridiculous. And I get the feeling that a lot of drivers... Our penalty list was a bit smaller than we expected. But
It
we
was.
knew we knew in GT Pro, we knew that this race was going to be pretty bonkers. I think a lot of drivers needed to really pay a bit more attention though to what happened in GT Pro.
Yeah, I mean, we thought, GT Pro, there's a bit of contact going on, and it's like, okay, they know that this can happen.
So guys,
but,
I know people will complain about the track, but the driving standards, you need to improve. This is for split 1. I assume it's actually throughout all the splits. So split 1, please just take a breather before you send it.
Okay, so that was
Yeah.
Jim Allison. Basically, I don't know if it came out on the
Would have done, yeah.
on the broadcast, but yeah, basically, this isn't the BTCC. Calm it down.
Yeah, he did the same thing after race 1 at the Portland International Raceway. A little bit of a slap on the wrist. To be fair, I'd assume the other splits are cleaner than this because this has been pretty diabolical in certain senses. For those of you tuning in though and wanting some more, we've obviously got the feature race coming up, but do not go anywhere because we've got a little bit of a surprise at some point between the two races. But what an opening race to the evening! Another sprint race, another victory for Mikkel Smeedel. He does tend to get himself into a little bit of trouble in that feature race, and we're going to kind of see the same thing from him. He's going to have to start from 10th place again. The top 10 all get reversed. It caused him troubles at Portland. What are we going to see this time?
Who knows after that? He's going to be starting in 10th. He's mid-grid, and if people start getting aggressive like they did in this one, admittedly they got 3 times as long to get round, but anything can happen in those 45 minutes. He could end up in someone else's accident, or he could end up causing an accident. We don't know. We're going to have to wait. But we've just had it in the ear from Ruben that we've got a little surprise for all our rFactor2 fans out there.
Yes, the people back at Studio 397 have been hard at work. Spa coming to rFactor2 this Friday as well. A couple of little sneak previews as well in that trailer. For me, I'm me. I want some of that. That looks very, very nice indeed. And we all know with the circuit quality in rFactor2 that is going to be an absolute treat. Of course, as well, ends our season here in the rFactor2 GT Challenge season. Powered by VCO. Going to be a crazy finale, but we focus on today here at VIR, a mixed up sprint race. Definitely put the cat amongst the pigeons, and heading into the feature race, a 45-minute race. Oh, we're going to see some scary stuff here, Aidan.
Let's be optimistic. Jimmy's way down the law.
Okay.
You know, It's like get Jimmy in charge of Formula One. He would have opened DRS while it was still wet, and it's just like, well, you wanted it, yeah, this is going to be very interesting in inverted commas. I think we've got drivers that are going to want to try and get to the front, and on a track that's got no room for error, just tone down the aggression.
Yeah, I think a lot of drivers need to take a look at what's happened over race one here and over, of course, the previous round, and sort of roll it back a bit. Remember, again, as we can see on our screen, how rFactor2's GT Challenge Series works. We've got a promotion and relegation. It's not on, it is on all the time, but this is not a relegation round. It's next round. It's every other round that we see relegation. So that'll be round 4. But of course, points now really, really matter. You can't afford to not score so many points. Of course, we'll see the bottom 5 of GT Challenge move down from Split 1 to Split 2, and we'll see the top 5 from Split 2 move up. We'll catch what's been happening in Split 2 a little bit later on. Before that, though, we've got a main race, and we'll go into optimistic. So maybe they just needed to get it out of their system, and a longer race around the Virginia International Raceway, maybe it'll just sort of calm things down. And we just need to give everyone a bit of a breather after race 1. We're going to see quite an interesting front row. Remember that under probation at the moment, Mikkel Smeedel and Louis-Philippe Capamajan, both under probation after incidents over the previous couple of rounds. It was a trouble-free drive from Mikkel Smeedel to take another victory. For Louis-Philippe Capamajan, it was second all race until Alan Terzic came onto the scene. Not 100% sure how that one really unfolded from the angle that we got. We'll obviously have to wait and see. Nita Velix have 3 drivers on the grid. Here they are, Turkka Häkkinen, who finished about 12th place, 20th place rather. Rory McDuff retired from the race. Herman Stocky retired from the race. It was not good for them, and with them starting now 20th, I think it's about 22nd and last on the grid. Not ideal. We're also already down a driver. I'm going to take a wild assumption that that's Jiri Toman that we're missing after his retirement. I think he gave up rather than retiring from the race with any sort of volition. I'm bored of this now. I'm done. Here's your grid then. Mohamed Patel, Jean Lacey Esports on the pole position ahead of Timotej Andonovski, Miguel de los Rios and Jesper Eriksson, desperate to get himself out of the bottom lot in the championship, and race 1 will do well for him. Joris Veers as well, 5th place. He will start with Matthew Williams, Ibrahim Khan and Luca D'Amelio. He's looking for a race victory as D'Amelio. Sancho Simsport were victorious here last season in the feature race courtesy of Cedo Via, so keep an eye on them. Alan Terzic and Mikkel Smeedel, 1 and 2 in the previous race, 9th and 10th in this one. Nick Jacobs and David Serra round out the top 12. Roman Jakubovic, that's a nice position that he finished the race in. 13th for him. Paul August Lana as well moved his way up the order with Dan Kell in 15th. Fantastic drive. And Ilias Fernandez in 16th place. What are these drivers going to do? Matt Richards just inside the points, and he'll be looking to move his way up the order after a disastrous race 1 with Juan Carlos Fernandez and Andrea Terzi. Turkka Häkkinen as well down in 20th place after that incident very, very late. Vlad Tokarev dropped it at Oak Tree. Rory McDuff retired from the race. Kasper Stolzer and Louis-Philippe Capamajan, not ideal from them. 23rd, 24th placed after running second in most of the race for Capamajan. Donat Prodan, Paul Ahonen down there for Volante Racing, and Herman Stocky after that retirement. And a silly rejoin earlier in the race drops him down to 27th and last on the grid. Jiri Toman, our 28th driver, not here. Jack McIntyre, one of the non-shows. Cannot remember who the other one is. But, Aidan, we keep our fingers crossed. We keep our hopes high for hopefully a fantastic feature race that I don't think we're going to see any weather. That wasn't on the forecast. It was just carnage.
It said a very low chance of rain. It'll probably be like in Formula One, where it's like we've got rain in 5 minutes, and then it comes like 2 minutes after the race has ended. But I'm just going to have a look at the field and see who to watch. I mean, Mo Patel having pole position. If he leads into turn 1, he should be away. As well, not only is he quick, but he's also going to have everything happening behind him, so he'll probably get a bit of a lead just from that. But I think we're going to be watching the mid pack around 10th to see what happens with Smeedel and co.
Absolutely, yeah. For those that don't know too much about Mohamed Patel, an incredibly fast driver, was second in the opening round of the season of the Virtual Endurance Championship in the hypercar category earlier this 6 weeks ago, basically. Also, the 2017 FSR World Champion, race winner in FSR earlier this season as well, earlier this year rather, the final round of the season, has been an incredible driver and is able to pick up pretty much anything. He normally sticks to open wheelers, but he has fared well in most of the things he's touched. Hasn't done so great this season though, but did move from outside of the points to nearly inside the top 10 in the last feature race of the season. Split screen, Mikael Smedel, 10th place on the grid, race victor in the previous one on the right hand side, and your race leader and pole sitter Mohammed Patel on the left. We'll wait a fair while for them to get going. Aid, any final thoughts?
Please don't die at turn 1.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. It might wait a little bit longer than turn 1. We'll see what the run into NASCAR
on the start
then.
line.
All the way, yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Patel then. He's going to be coming across the line. Timotei Antonovsky alongside Miguel de los Rios and Jesper Eriksson on the road behind. Lewis McGlade, Aidan Millwood inside the comms booth here. We are underway in the Virginia International Raceway in the feature race of the rFactor2 GT Challenge Series, powered by VCO, and that run into turn 1 is leaving the door open for Jordi Sveers to come out of nowhere to slam it down the inside and try and go up into the podium places already. Oh my goodness me, that was aggressive from the Dutchman, all the way up into 4th place. That was very, very aggressive. Got by Ibrahim Khan with an absolute dive. Or I can't remember who that was he actually got by. Matthew Williams moving up into 7th place, fending off Alan Terz, which is moving his way up the order. We ride on board with Mikael Smedel, who's not able to make too much progress or any at all, as we've got some side-by-side behind. It seems like a fairly clean start at the front, but we've got yellow flags out of sector 1 already. Donat Prodan's gone.
Yeah, I'm watching both screens as per usual, and Smedel made a little bit of light contact with Alan Terzic at turn 1, but both of them are still on the track as they fly through the S's past the little hotel, guest houses, whatever you want to call them, towards Oak Tree Corner. I think everybody's probably going to end... Oh, there we go. That's one of the... I think it was D'Amelio that's a little bit wide, but he's kept it under control. Through Oak Tree onto the back stretch. Everybody's still in one piece. Except Donat Prodon, obviously. But, Rory's gone again.
Rory McDuff just slammed into the back of Louis-Philippe Capamajan further down the order, and it's opened the door for him as everyone just concertinaed up. We're on board with Jordi Sveers going for the podium position on Jesper Eriksson. The door's open for him to go around the outside into the roller coaster. Is there going to be respect given from Jesper Eriksson? The Swede's just giving enough room. Jordi Sveers all over the apex curb on the inside, is going to hang on to the position, but trying to get involved in all of this as well. Ibrahim Khan as well, we're riding on board with now. Wasn't quite able to do so. We complete lap 1. Patel leads, Antonovsky, Eriksson, Sveers, Khan, De Los Rios, Matthew Williams as well, Alan Terzic, Mikael Smedel and Luca D'Amelio, your top 10, breaking away from Nick Jacobs. There's been some incidents down the back end of the top 10.
Yeah, Matt Richards and Dan Kell running 16th and 17th. Maybe they'll apply the touring car strategy of just push each other through. But,
De Los Rios. Oh my goodness me, we're on board with Fernandez. Ahead of this, Terzic missed the apex of T1 whilst trying to make a move on Matthew Williams. It's dropped him down to 10th place. That's what's happened to him. It's allowed Mikael Smedel to move his way up the position as we see a replay. Talk us through it.
All right, Jordi Sveers.
Oh, goodness.
This is at the start. He's licking the stamp. And there we go. He's just rammed it into the post box and sent it. There we go. A little bit of contact and almost had 2 positions there, but has to settle for just the 1.
I don't think it'll be the dive he's most proud of, as we see from helicopter cam. Matthew Williams, who's in 6th place at the moment, fending off De Los Rios, Mikael Smedel as well, the championship leader, triple race winner this season. There he is, 8th place, so moved up a few places already. The top 10 all in a bit of a train, dropping off a little bit. Nick Jacobs not able to keep things quite in touch at the moment as Donat Prodon has been into the pit lane. So it's not ideal for him. Here we go. Move coming from Mikael Smedel. Is it going to be clean? You would damn well hope so, considering he's under probation. He's going to try and do it. Oh, that was De Los Rios sort of not really giving him enough room there. They did get through. I think it was a little bit of a brush.
Just only a little bit of a brush. Nobody's off. It's fine. We'll let that go.
Very close though, thus proving the how good the netcode is.
Who's that?
rFactor2.
This is Donat Prodon.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the John Lacey cars, but the pit lane was obscuring it.
Yeah, you see the top of a Ferrari and he's kind of sort of blue. Yeah, for Smedel though, so that was an alright move. It's just, again, shows a good advertising for the netcode here in rFactor2. This is Alan Terzic running wide at T1 as he's trying to make that move on Matthew Williams. You see De Los Rios running wide as well. nearly
that was almost Hamilton on Vettel at Turkey the other day, where he's trying to avoid smashing into the back of him.
Yeah, that was pretty chaotic. Jordi Veers then looking for a potential race victory. At the moment, his teammates leading, and a Ferrari winning the previous feature race of the season. Mohammed Patel looking to do the duty as well for the team. Jordi Veers, I believe, had a podium earlier in the season. Certainly did back in Sebring. Finished third place on the road there.
Terzic getting a bit wobbly there.
He wasn't.
It's fishtailing.
I don't want to rip into him too bad. He wasn't particularly strong here. And by wasn't particularly strong, I mean he made a damn lot of mistakes in the race,
the
Indy Pro Championship by FSR at this circuit not too long ago in the IndyCar, the DW12s. But here we are. We might get a little bit of three wide. No, he's going to help Luca De Melio through
Don't
here.
go three wide into
he's
here.
He's not going to. As Jordi Veers and Andonovski at second place. They're going side by side. As trying to make it as Jean Lacey 1-2 as one other's trying to get a position done. Andonovski hangs on. Alan Terzic and Nico De Los Rios have come together. Oh, sorry, I pulled away from that. That's my bad. That's my bad.
I saw it about to
De Los
happen.
Rios, reverse, buddy.
No.
Oh, my goodness me. Why was he trying to drive forward at that scenario? Oh, my goodness me. He should have put that in reverse a lot earlier than he did.
Oh, dear.
De Los Rios then dropped down the order on his debut in Split 1. Now
there's a Sancho off at the first corner.
Which one is it? Oh, it's Ibrahim Khan. Ibrahim Khan's gone. Ibrahim Khan has absolutely gone. There's a pirouette. Oh, he got a little bit of a talking to after the Portland International Raceway. And I think he may well be due another one. Not quite sure as to what sent him down into the grass at T1 at Horseshoe. But something certainly has, whether it's his own volition or someone else's. Well, we'll have to wait and see.
We might have to find out. No, this is Alan Terzic.
This is what happened to De Los Rios. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then he's going to, he's got no control at that point as De Los Rios. I think that second part of that hit there looks a lot worse than it was. He was just trying to catch the car and went back into Terzic. Whether you kind of think that Terzic was a little bit hot there into roller coaster, I think there's a bit of potential for that. Don't want to be too harsh on the poor man, but maybe. maybe. Terzi into the pit lane as well, not going well for him. I'm not going to be as harsh on him as I was, where I said that he makes better physics than he can drive. What I meant by that was that he makes very, very good physics and drives. He's a good driver. Doug Hakkinen making a move here on Carlos Fernandez. Pretty easy move that into roller coaster up to 17th. Yeah, nice stuff.
Here's a replay.
No. Not yet.
This is done at Prodan. No, I think Ruben's queuing up the slowy of him going. He's done that to himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whack.
Nice. That was a flag. I did get a request from Mr. I'm not a commentator, Ed Trevelyan Johnson, by the way. He said, I want to commentate on race 2. I think it's because he's having such a good laugh sat at home watching.
Ed laughs?
Sometimes. Sometimes he might have a sense of humour. It just might be a little bit of an odd one. Great team boss, though, right?
Very good team boss.
We've got to big him up in that sense, at least.
No bias.
No, absolutely not.
Richards and Kell are still off the tail. They are doing
straight to Richards and Kell.
I was going to say they're using their TCUK strategy. They're just pushing each other through the field.
Sorry, that was too good not to laugh at, mate. Well done. Jordi Veers here. We are putting pressure on the Northern Macedonian of Timotej Antonovski. Oh my goodness me. Yellow flag out in sector 2. Who's that dropping down? Paulo Gustlana, I believe it is. Certainly is out of the race. The Volante racing driver.
There's another 35 minutes of this.
I know.
I was going to say something, and then my mind just went blank as usual.
This is what we always say, though, is that, this is Terzi. Oh, no, I don't want to. Poor man. Oh, no.
No. Oh. You're joking. Oh. That's a wheel gone.
You were hoping for him to miss that.
I thought he was going to miss him by like the thickness of like a magazine or something like that.
We were all holding our breath there. That was Kasper Stolzer who made contact with Andonovski there. Yellow flag out in sector 2. It's Paul Ihonen, I believe.
Yeah,
there we go.
He's gone.
Volante cars
Ibrahim
out.
Khan's had another off as well. He's dropped down further.
What a disaster it is for Volante, though. They had 3 drivers in the race, and I think they've got all 3 retired from it. As Jordi Sveers in 2nd place. Yeah, what's happened to Andonovski?
Has he had an off?
He must have done.
He's dropped to 4th, and he's.
I think he's having connection a little bit. Maybe having a touch of connection. I think it might just been a move up into roller coaster, or well, I don't actually know. He did run a little bit wide.
Oh, bye.
Yeah,
he's,
I think.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's
yeah,
very gone. This race is slightly less crazy than the previous one, but I'm already melted from the previous one, so you have to bear with me. Up to 13th goes Dan Kell. Yellow flag out in sector 2. Another retirement from the race. Timotej Antonovski out of it. Rory McDuff, yet again, another incident for the American. Considering the season started 3 rounds on home soil for the American, he has not had a good run of it. And Virginia International Raceway not being kind to him, as it wasn't the Virtual Endurance Championship in season 12. He had a few offs at Oak Tree, and that one was at South Bend, the corner before Oak Tree. A focus on Luca D'Amelio, who's currently running in 6th place. Things were looking good for Zancho a little bit earlier and in race 1. Less rosy now, but still plenty of the race to go. Richards and Kell working their way up the order, as you said. No bias down Tony D'Amelio. We'll go Tony D'Amelio in 6th place.
Oh dear. Brake markers are gone at Oak Tree. Carnage incoming, says Ruben, as the AAA Esports car departs the track.
And John Lacey Esports trying to make a move. No way through for Alan Ters, which of course these two are very good friends. And they were also battling it out in the previous race, previous feature race rather, for the victory. And it was Luca D'Amelio who effectively, he had an opportunity where he could have made a move, but then didn't because he lifted out of it. This is Timotej Andonovski. And I think this is where his issue comes. This is through South Bend. Oh,
he just dropped on the curb. And strike.
All the brake markers gone. Who is going to be the first one to greet that barrier?
Place bets in chat.
After they've been knocked down. I say after because let's be honest, there's already been a few people in it. So yeah, it's not been ideal. Here's Turka Hakkinen working his way up the order from 20th place up to 15th now on the back of Vlad Tokarev, who's already had an incident for Unison Racing in that Aston Martin at Oak Tree. And they're also applying pressure to Dan Kell.
I think the strategy that you gave Dan before the race has paid off, as Herman Stocky just squeezing past Ibrahim Khan to go around the outside into a roller coaster, and he's made that move stick.
It's because I know my racing, Lark, and also I know that 9 times out of 10 on a circuit like this, the easiest way to get up the grid is just keeping out of trouble because everyone else is going to crash. Why work on overtaking people when you know that they will just end up overtaking themselves? And by that I mean spinning into a corner. Well, we'll have to wait and see. We're on board with Nick Jacobs, with David Serra ahead. Turka Hakkinen, by the way, behind us, going by Vlad Tokarev. This is what we go to now. Turka Hakkinen trying to make it around the outside of Horseshoe. Did not see that work often last season. I believe Rudy Van Buren managed to pull one off in GT Pro last season. Now, I think he was the only one to actually do it successfully.
He was.
A couple of drivers in GT Challenge tried it to no effect. Maybe 1 or 2 did. Don't recall. I just know that no bias. Sancho Simsport won that day. In the hands of Sido Vaya. Another yellow flag out. Not sure who that one belongs to. And to be fair, at this point, not really bothered. It's just been crazy. I'm pretty sure everyone, if you had to stick a little bit of yellow tape on every car that's caused a yellow flag today, everyone would have a yellow bit of tape. Oh, here's Dan Kell holding on Mikkel Smedel, by the way. Oh, no, it's Alan Terzic, got by Luca D'Amelio finally. So Alan Terzic up a position into 5th place. That was easy on slipstream, easy on the eye. Speaking of easy on the eye, here is... that's not going to be easy on the eye. That's going to be a pretty big dive there from Turka Hakkinen. Going to try and make it around the outside. There was a yellow flag out in Sector 2. He's made that one stick. Turka Hakkinen moving his way up the order. Disappointment for his teammates. Herman Stocky, who's not doing so great. Where is Herman Stocky, actually? He's 18th place. Rory McDuff, 21st. Once again, as it was in race 1 in the previous round at Portland, doing the duty for the team. Nita Belix is #1 driver in the championship, very much appearing to be Turka Hakkinen, who I would not have favoured in such a position coming into the season. He is very much impressing me in this championship with his pace and ability to move through the order. Replay, talk us through it, Aiden.
Right, so Paulie Ahonen coming down through sector 3. So last couple of corners before the final corner, he's onto the grass, lost a bit of control, and oh, that's an F. That's his race over.
It's easy to do and kind of unsurprising to see a driver up there. It's such a difficult circuit. It's such a difficult circuit, this one. We're on board with Stocky. I was a little bit. I say I was a little bit harsh. You know, the Nita Velix drivers, I don't feel they've quite done as Jakubovic and Jakobs. Jakobs is off at Oak Tree.
Oh no!
Oh no! Tears for cameraman Ruben Carrera Alves. Oh no! That is him out of the race. Nick Jakobs inside the top 10 coming into this in the championship. I don't think he'll too much appreciate that.
Fire! Look at this.
Oh, squeezing a little bit too much, maybe, Dankel. That was a little bit naughty. Turka Hakkinen, though, making the move on the Englishman and up to 12th place.
What was that firing up the inside into roller coaster?
Of course, it's Captain Majan.
That was a send and a half.
Certainly was. He's given it a good go. So with Louis Philippe Capmajan now in 14th place, now on the back of Dankel, working his way up the order bit by bit after retirement down the order. He's in 14th place, about to make a move on the Englishman. He's to the outside of Horseshoe. Here's Matthew Williams, who's moved up to 3rd place, doing a great job for Stax Racing. Here's Philippe Capmajan to the outside. Dankel's overdoing that. See you, mate. Oh, beautiful cutback from Louis Philippe Capmajan. Nice work. The probation seems to have worked, Aidan.
Yeah, he's...
Or at least what we've seen.
Yeah, we haven't seen everything. We're not made of eyes, so I'm going to go with yes. He's done well.
I'm seeing a lot of Fs in chat, and I am unsurprised. That move, though, was definitely not one that required one. Nearly was from Dankel. Nearly overdid the corner. Nice work from him. This
is a painful replay for Ruben.
This is an F required. This is why he's not doing it in slow-mo. Oh, he's just overdone it ever so slightly.
Donk.
Bang. That's a big hit into the wall for the Dutchman. Nick Jakobs out of the race for Scuderia Leone. Either way, they'll come back next round, and you know he's impressed a little bit this season. To the outside, though, that's Juan Carlos Fernandez and Vlad Tokarev. Nice work from him. Herman Stocky looking to the inside on the exit of Oak Tree. Not going to work for him. Ibrahim Khan just in tow as well. Oh, is he going to be able to make a move, though? It's when you've not slipstreamed so much, Aiden, going into the roller coaster. If you're this far back, the sort of distance of Vlad Tokarev is, he is definitely going for it. They're sort of there, 50-50, nearly just enough room given. There's the contact as Juan Carlos Fernandez completely missed the apex on the second part, and Vlad Tokarev is sent off, packing, hiking, camping, whatever you do in the Virginia hillsides.
Well, you don't do anything with the current situation, but we're on board with one of the Zancho cars. It's Ibrahim Khan. But this Herman Stocky looking to get past into turn 1. He's going to try the outside line, which hasn't worked for anybody today. He is, and it hasn't worked.
It's nice. It's weird that. it's easy for us to say though, because we've seen like a lot of people try it and then it just not work. But you know, it's I'd give it a go as well. You know, why not? You've sometimes just got to give it a go. A full send around the outside. There's just not very much grip offline on the exit of the Horseshoe, and it's not banked. Here's our race leader, Mohamed Patel, doing a lot of things right, but coming under pressure from his teammate, the Flying Dutchman, Jordi Sveers, who had very much an Archie moment earlier where he sort of didn't go very well. We'll go with that. Second place, Matthew Williams, drive of the season so far from Matthew Williams. We've seen him put together some great pace, some great results. Oh, who's that? Turka Hakkinen. Turka Hakkinen down the order. Oh no, Turka Hakkinen, South Bend's bit. Oh no, Vlad Tokarev as well is going to get by and all of that. Oh, and he's going to go for a spin, is he? That's not
he's
a very
gone too deep.
What was that from Vlad Tokarev?
Get
Turka Hakkinen. Oh my goodness me. What a disastrous round for some.
Elias Fernandez in 10th place.
Behind a Porsche inside the top 10, by the way. As
Porsche
Turco
OP.
Hackman has dropped behind. You've got a yellow flag out in sector 1. It's Herman Stocky. Oh, Herman Stocky's been off as well with Juan Carlos Fernandez.
Oh, dear.
No. So Vlad Tokarev's going to come through and get ahead of all of that as they're both going to rejoin the circuit and place it. Oh my God! They were nearly going together on the rejoin. How silly is
Here's
this?
the replay.
This is the earlier one. This is with
All
Vlad
right,
Tokarev.
okay. Yep.
Talk us through it. What do you think here?
Well, I called the contact, and there it was. Commentator's eye, my friend.
I would say, how do you feel about that one? But unfortunately, I kind of get the feeling that you're not going to put any blame on anyone other than Juan Carlos Fernandez, because let's be honest, it was his fault. Oh, no. It's easy to sit here in the comms booth.
It is. I mean,
we would have taken out half the grid as well.
We're talking about people like going into each other and firing to corners and all that stuff, and I wiped you out of Brands Hatch.
I was literally going to say the same thing. Do you remember that time at turn 1?
Remember that time I fired you off at Paddock Hill and you got absolutely wrecked? Right,
What's
I've been
gonna
stuck
happen
around
here?
the outside. I think you came across a bit too much, I think.
I think we'll need to see if we can see that again from TV. I think that might be a little bit of a better angle. We'll have to wait and see. This is the hard Arky being slammed to try and get us some replays from Ruben Carrera Alves. Jimmy Allison would also be hard on the replay key, but there was so much going on at Nürburgring, he wasn't able to quite show us. There was so much.
I think
Right, here we are.
Jimmy's given up at this point.
Let's have a
right,
look.
yeah. So good old helicopter cam. Yeah, he's just come across a bit too much, I think.
I don't think he did. I don't think Juan Carlos Fernandez was far enough over to the left, but then I don't really want to be too harsh because I've already binned him off for the last one, so I don't really want to be too harsh, but I don't think he was over far enough. I think he had plenty more room to move on the left. But it is what it is. We've got 3 drivers, though, within a second at the front of the field, and they're all being chased down by one Mr. Probation Boy, Mikkel Smeedel, who's been cleaner, at least from what we've seen this round, than in the previous one, where he took out half the field on his march to somewhere at the back of the grid.
Good old... so being on probation, he's a probie. But the way he's been driving, he's more probie one Kenobi.
Whoa,
just using
nice.
the force to get through and keeping out of trouble.
He'd get a slap on the back of the head for that. It's all right, I know, because I know you watch NTS as well. It's fine.
That was for my mum. She's watching.
Nice. She watches a lot of these broadcasts. Here's Turco Hakkinen, and this is his departure at South Bend.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's a big one into the
That's
barrier.
a huge one.
Oh, it's not. It's all right. It was.
I was expecting body parts to fall off, but
so was I. John Lacey Esports Academy 1-2. They've got 3 cars inside the top 5. It's looking pretty good for them at the moment. And Alan Terzic only 3.4 seconds off of the race lead. Maybe he's looking for a second consecutive victory in the feature races. Who's that? Who's switched positions? Ibrahim Khan and Louis-Philippe Capamajan. It's Ibrahim Khan and Dan Kell have switched positions. Sorry. Ibrahim Khan with 13th place. Dan Kell dropped to 14th. Having a good round, though. 2 races inside the top 15. Still. And I cannot stress this enough, ladies and gentlemen. Sat at home wondering, we're approaching a checker flag at a rapid rate of knots. We have passed halfway. Not much more.
Turco Hakkinen drops a position here to De Los Rios.
What relentless racing.
There's more overtakes in this than an entire season of Formula 1.
Oh, is he going to be able to do... Oh!
He's gone.
That feels like the commentators goes as to... I was like, oh, he's carried enough speed. No, he's spun.
Oh, look at that. TC override and floored it.
Absolutely. That's promoted Matt Richards, by the way, who did not have a good race one, courtesy of Yuri Toman, up inside the top 10. The Welshman now on his march up the order. We can see the top 2 here on the road not being passed by Matthew Williams. The Ferrari may seem to struggle a little bit later in the race in its tyres, but that Ferrari is pretty potent in the straight line, especially as we know that that Moo and Jordi will be communicating here for Jean Lacey Esports Academy. The 2 Ferraris leading 1 and 2 at the moment will be very much in communication at the moment, making sure that there's enough of a gap at certain points to not allow Matthew Williams to get through. They're playing it very smart, as you would kind of expect. They're a good team.
Whoa, he caught right up on that.
It's probably because Jordi was braking a little bit earlier to not do the same thing to his teammate, but then Matthew Williams was almost close enough to take advantage through Hogpen. Yellow flag out in Sector 2. Who's that one courtesy of? I think it might be Miguel de los Rios. Certainly is. Oak Tree. Bikes another one. Bing, 20 minutes done. 20 minutes to go. 25 minutes done.
How many is that that's gone off at Oak Tree tonight?
We have not... What was it that we said for GT Pro? I think it was 3 and 7.
I counted 7 over the course of the whole evening.
And I said 3 was going to go off from race 1 and 7 was going to go off from race 2. I'd say if we applied those numbers to this race, we'd be looking pretty good.
Yeah.
You would have hoped they would have looked at Pro and been a bit more cautious, but nevertheless,
what's
we
the
have
fun
what
in
we
that?
have. What is the fun in that? We would have had a much less hilarious round. So I guess in that sense, we just need these drivers to clean it up a little bit. Where it is remaining clean and focusing on the positives, up here towards the top end, it has been very, very clean between these lot. All just applying pressure, all just trying to find their way through. Bit of a snap there from Matthew Williams as he is finding the very limit of that Stax Racing Callaway. Mikkel Smeedel now very much in tow, very much in position to potentially go for an overtake if the opportunity, and you see there as well, the 5th car in line, that Ferrari in the background, Alan Terzic, race winner and second in the championship, joint second in the championship coming into this round with Matthew Richards. It's really hard not to say Matthew Richards when I'm trying to say Matthew Williams. I know I said it in race 1, but it is really difficult.
That's why I said Tony D'Amelio that one time.
It's hard work. People don't realise.
There's Tony Mella and Luca D'Amelio. And I said Tony D'Amelio, and there's Matt Richards going to lose out to Capamajan here. That's an easy overtake. Straight through.
Yeah, very easy on the eye. And if I was Matt Richards as well, I wouldn't really have fought that one too hard. I would sort of let him go and be like, let's play with this a bit later on. Miguel de los Rios, this is a replay.
I thought it just stopped, but it was the replay.
Yeah, no, we didn't really get the animation there. It's fine. A little bit of a slip and slide.
Yeah.
Didn't drop it in the barrier. That was a gentle slide.
Still alive. That's good.
It's kind of the slide you'd want to have, isn't it, Aidan? You know, just if you're going to slide it, anyway, just
do it gracefully.
Do it gracefully without also rearing in your tyres.
The top 4 separated by just over a second, so.
Oh,
good
you
stuff
already missed
happening
the apex. You already missed the apex at left hook, or the second part. This is the thing. It's like if you give them corner, everyone's like, "Oh, why'd you give them names? Why didn't you give them corner numbers?" Because like around American circus is one thing that you'll learn.
10A, 10B.
Road
America, stop.
Road America is the single worst for it because you've got turn 1, then you've got turn 2, which isn't a corner.
It's not a corner.
Kink. Then you've got turn 3. But for some odd reason, the little squiggly bit down the back end, despite turn 2 being turn 2, all that squiggly bit is like 10A, 10B, 10C, 10 whatever. Or whatever it is. But why is turn 2 a number and that's not? God.
Yeah, Road America isn't very consistent with the kinks either, because the kink after Canada corner isn't labelled as a corner.
Yeah, I know. But it's just like, just turn 1 to, like around here, just if you have to make a significant steering input, corner.
If it can be taken flat out in everything, it's not a corner.
So you would classify this as one corner then? Because that left-hander then wouldn't count as a corner.
I don't know anymore.
That left-hander would definitely... So this wouldn't count as a corner. This would all be part of the previous corner.
This wouldn't be a corner. This little corner. This little kink, that's not a corner.
No. But it is on the track map, I think. It does count, doesn't it?
I think we're overthinking this.
We're supposed to know. Oh, door open from Jordi's Veers. Oh, maybe inviting the odd move from Matthew Williams. Not sure how much he's won in the last little while. Used to be driving for Red Arrow race. Was it Red Arrow? Oh, was it Red Archer? No, it wasn't Red Archer. It doesn't matter. Anyway, was driving for a team that was owned by David Fidek, who is double champion in GPVWC Super League. Used to driving that alongside Chris Butcher. I believe took a couple of race wins in that and certainly some podiums. An incredible driver when it comes to open wheel pedigree, and certainly finding his form in GTs, as we've said, across the season. Made a couple of mistakes back in Sebring and sort of was unfortunate in Portland through other people's misjudgings, shall we say. You can see some damage on the back of the Audi, so he's definitely been hit by someone.
He was hit by Smeedel on turn 1 on lap 1. That might have done it.
But whilst he was diving for third? How far back was Smeedle coming from?
Wherever. Shadow Realm. I don't know.
Oh my goodness me, I did not quite catch that. Still managed to hang on to second place though for now. Now, here's the thing: with 15 minutes left on the clock as they cross the line, that's the sprint race distance we have left to complete here at the Virginia International Raceway. It is going to kick off now, which is kind of surprising considering how much it has been kicking off anyway. But let's talk this one, Aidan. What do you do if you're Yordi for 15 minutes? Are you going for race victory on Mohammed Patel, or are you going to hang on? Are you going to be the wingman? Are you going to help out your teammate?
Well, the cardinal sin is don't wipe out your teammate.
They didn't learn that in GT Pro, did they?
Nope. Didn't learn that in TC UK either, even though we're not technically teammates in that, so it's fine.
Yuri
I got away with that.
I'm pretty sure Yuri was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, so, but at the same time, he's going to want maximum points. So, difficult situation, isn't it, for him? I would settle for second, honestly.
Yeah, but you're talking about a race win. I've always said this before: is that there are certain positions which hold more value than others. Obviously, a race win is the number one important. Then, for me, I'm kind of not too bothered whether I finish second or third, because second or third, you're still on the podium. I'm not actually that bothered. Obviously, in a championship situation for points and stuff, then it does matter, but less so. When it comes to like the pride of the position, second or third is very, very similar to me. Race win, important. Second or third, yeah, take it or leave it. Fourth or fifth, still in the top 5, fine with it. And then from outside there, it's sort of like, yeah, as long as I'm inside the top 10. So from that scenario, if I'm Yordi, that move for the race, of course, is important. It's a race victory, one of rFactor2's highest championships. And with Mikko Smeedle in tow, I'd want to get there before he gets behind me, because let's get on with this. You're absolutely right, though. Rule number 1 of motor racing is to never hit your teammate. And Yordi's a good boy. Obviously, the incident that I was referring to was between Hani Al-Sabti and Yuri Kazdorp, who came together into the roller coaster on the final lap of the feature race in GT Pro. I believe whilst they were running in second and third, if I remember correctly. And that incident, Yuri was less than pleased by. Let's go with that. Miguel de los Rios trying to work his way back up the order after his incident at Oak Tree. Could be a pretty easy move there on Herman Stocky. No worries. Each crest, when we just jump to it, I'm never sure which crest we're going over, because you go over a crest to go into roller coaster. I was just like, oh, he's quite far back. That's fine. Here's our race lead. I think Mikko Smeedle is being very, very patient here and just sort of trying to allow Mr. Williams to potentially go for a move that might open the door for him.
Look at this, the top 5 now in a bit of a trolley train. Patel's tyres are going to be past their use by date now, aren't they? But we keep saying that the Ferrari burns through its tyres, but Ferrari
every
won
time.
too.
Every single time. Oh, the Ferrari is really, really bad. It's 1-2 with another one in line. Absolutely looking fine approaching the checkered flag here in the third round of the rFactor2 GT Challenge Series powered by VCO. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Yordi's closing. Is he going to lift out of it? Yordi is definitely closing. He's not close enough to do anything, but he's definitely getting closer. He does lift out of it. Maybe Yordi. Alan Terzic! Oh, there's contact between Mikko Smeedle. He's going straight on. Mikko Smeedle's going straight across the road. Oh, and into Matthew Williams. Oh, Matthew Williams, the worst luck possible. It becomes a Sean Lacey Esports Academy 1, 2, 3 on the road. What happened with Mikko Smeedle, who's now stuck and going to get out of the race? He just got off of it, but he was beached. Was Mikko Smeedle. He's on the grass. He can't seem to really get this one around. I think his car's very, very broken.
That car's got to be absolutely shredded.
Oh, I think that might have been a bit more on Alan Terzic. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to hold criticism.
Ruben, you know what to do.
Oh, that car is very broken of Mikko Smeedle. It is very, very broken, and how unfortunate for Matthew Williams to have had the opportunity to potentially go for a race win at this level in these cars, robbed from him. Should be okay for 4th place. I'm not sure how badly broken that car is.
It copped a whack.
Oh, it's broken. It's broken. Matthew Williams' car is broken here. Oh,
that is a huge shame.
Your heart goes out to the guy because his rear suspension is slightly caved in. Currently still in 4th place, though, is Matthew Williams.
Yeah, I mean, like, just to talk about the suspension damage and things like that, when you've
let's have a look.
Yeah, well, have a look. This is Mikko Smeedle.
Oh, Alan!
That's an Alan.
Alan!
That's on Alan.
Oh, no.
But what I was trying to say is that oh dear, that's the same replay. Okay, clonk. When the front suspension's caved in, you can drive around it. You'll just understeer through like every corner, pretty much. Oh yeah, he has beached that quite well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And but when the rear suspension's caved in, you're just going to spin every lap because it's like totally locking the diff or opening the diff.
I know Terzic will be disappointed from that, same as he was in the incident, but that is pretty unacceptable. The Slovenian causing contact there and effectively putting two of his rivals massively down the road. Mikael Smedel fairly faultless in that scenario. Really, I think, to be fair, Terzic was going straight on. Luke D'Amelio going to go down the inside of Matthew Williams here, an easy move.
Let that go pretty easy, didn't they?
You would be in tears.
Yeah.
Being Matthew Williams right now. He's done nothing wrong here. Again, same as it was in Portland.
Well, this will cheer you up. Cameron Rogers winning in split 6.
FSR's president doing well. He's also got a new microphone, this Cameron Rogers.
I thought so.
Wonder who got him that one.
Oh, was it you?
It was my one, yeah.
All right.
It's the old one I used to have. No corona involved.
This is
yeah.
Yeah, I thought, God, it doesn't stop it.
Oh my God! I am beyond disappointed about that. Mikael Smedel's
I'm
off
not
again.
angry.
His suspension's
I'm just
gone.
very disappointed.
His suspension. Mikael Smedel's been off the road again. His suspension's absolutely gone. Matt Richards will be absolutely cheering, especially if he finds out Louis-Philippe Capmachan's gone. Louis-Philippe Capmachan's got his rear wing's gone.
Oh dear.
Oh my goodness me. Philippe Capmachan, 11th place now. Rear wing gone.
Oh
my goodness me. That was Jesper Eriksson making the move on Matthew Williams. Easy done. Matthew Williams lifts out of it. Same as it was in last round. He's just dropping down the order, huffing, puffing, and dropping his way down. It is an incredible shame. Louis-Philippe Capmachan, no rear wing. Dan Kel's about to come up to the back of him. Philippe Capmachan's about to come up towards the roller coaster.
What?
Oh,
Eriksson with a huge slide.
My goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Philippe Capmachan is out of here. Did
you not know your rear wing was gone?
He did not know. He absolutely did not know. Oh my goodness me. Dan Kel's been passed by Elias Fernandez and now has I was going to say, is that Vlad Tokarev? But no, that's Donat Prodan behind him, a lap down in the Ferrari. Oh my goodness me! You can't do anything but shake your head at a yellow flag out in Sector 3 as Louis-Philippe Capmachan, I still think, is trying to get this one going. Doesn't realise that he's lacking somewhat of a rear wheel. This is what happened to him. Talk us through it.
He's gone into Oak Tree just way too hot. Then the grass has decided that car's mine now. He's backed it into the wall. Don't think he's got crew chief on or anything like that to tell him his rear wing's gone, and he's gone full tilt into roller coaster and stacked it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, yellow flag out in Sector 3 again. Is that still for Capmachan? Hit the escape key, buddy. My goodness me.
There's no code 80s in this.
No, there certainly isn't. There you go. He's pulled the plug now as Dan Kel's all over the place. Vlad Tokarev's a fair way back. I think Dan Kel can still be pretty impressed with the drive. He's done exactly what he wanted to do and survived. Is literally all he wanted to do.
Good
this
point,
is the big off.
Oh dear.
He obviously didn't know his rear wing was gone at this point.
No. Just
look how.
Wait, he does
goodness.
now. Nice.
Oh my God! Nearly. Well, if he was much quicker down there, he would have taken out Ibrahim Khan as well in fantastic fashion.
Oh my
off. Goodness me! That's a DQ incoming.
And
no, it's not.
Well, no, because that happened in GT Pro as well.
It happened.
At least it's visible from there. Penalty Miguel de los Rios. There you go.
Yeah,
Game's done that to him.
Haniel Sabti did something similar in Virtual Endurance Championship and received a disqualification for his efforts. Yellow flag out in Sector 1.
Yeah. Patel's lost the lead to Yordi.
I think it's Roy McDuff. Is that yellow flag out? Yeah, Mohammed Patel's obviously let.
He's let Alan through as well.
He's let Mohammed Patel. Yeah,
well, I say he's let Alan through.
Yordi had already taken the lead at some point. There's so much happened in this race. I'm literally lost. Yordi's leading though. Mohammed Patel's dropped down. That happened a little while ago though. I think it might have been around the same time that when we were focusing on that incident. Unfortunately, we might have missed that overtake or whatever. But either way, Aaron Terzic, who's been let through. maybe trying to seek some form of victory, but he is going to receive a whopper of a time penalty after this. I'm assuming it'll probably be
60.
I'm assuming it'll be a 60.
Like, given the driving standards of tonight, Jimmy's going to throw the book at people, I think. Just keep
And rightfully so.
hurling out the maximum penalty to get people to grow up.
And rightfully so. I think we do need to dish out some very hefty penalties because clearly some drivers are not learning from the experiences of the race direction.
Next time on Pressing Issues.
That's right. When we come back to the next round, we'll see how angry we get this time. I'm going to have we're going to go on webcam, and then you can visually see the vein throbbing from my forehead.
Oh,
this is what happens.
Did Mo lose it himself, or was it a Mohammed "This is Jean" moment?
No, he's going straight on at Oak Tree. Oh, he's a lucky boy.
Oh.
He is a lucky boy. I wonder if, but the thing is, I wonder if that will come back to him, because I'm pretty sure we saw Jordi make an issue, whether it was in race 1 or in this race. It's all merged into one. I know he obviously did that big dive at T1, which I don't know if he'll be in trouble for. But I'm pretty sure there was another thing that went in the way of Jordi. Because I distinctly remember yelling the words, "Oh, Archie," which is the code word for Jordi's made a big
Archie.
He's made a big boo-boo. Maybe it will go back the way of Patel. I don't know. Matthew Williams desperate to hang on to 6th place. Very unfortunately dropping his way down the order. He's under pressure now from the DX droid of David Serra. Jakobovic as well is not too far back either. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, Aidan. It's
2 or 3 laps remaining. Well, 2 laps remaining, I guess. But Matt Richards, he's laughing his way up to 9th position at the minute.
I've been informed by someone specific who suggests that you should do a story time over the incidents at the Virginia International Raceway here in GT Challenge, and I think that would be a long episode, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I might as well just watch this on repeat.
Also, it's apparently split 5 that Cam's winning and not split 6. That's one bet. I did think he moved up from split 6.
Either way,
give me false info. There goes David Serra. Should be an easy meal. I think the more laps that Matthew Williams does, the more he kind of gets back into it because he's understanding what the car can and can't do. So the drop-off is slightly less. An impressive drive for him to hang on to the top 10 despite it being spread out massively. Ibrahim Khan and Matt Richards have switched positions. Why is, considering Matt Richards is second in the championship? I know no team orders, I kind of get that. But why is Ibrahim Khan passing Matt Richards? Like,
Matt,
surely...
it's Ed.
Yeah, literally. Ed would be... I remember Ed saying in the Team Brit Championship about Matt Richards battling it out with... I'm sure Matt's just like, I'll just battle it out and we'll just sort it out at the end. But there was Jonas Raibio and... was it Cino Vire as well? Who were battling it out with him at Dubai.
Oh my goodness.
Richards, never mind, it's fine. And basically, Ed had said that, if Matt needs it, tell them to, reel it in a little bit. Let's go with that. It's a little bit of an odd one, but I guess let them race. It's fine. I'd let them race. I'd want to do it.
Yeah, race. Just don't hit each other.
Yeah, literally. Just literally no death, please. Which I kind of get the feeling I wish we'd said to literally everyone on the grid. Oh no, wait.
Jimmy did say no death, please at the beginning.
Yes, absolutely. And that wish has not been granted, unfortunately. I believe we are approaching the final lap of the race, and Jordi Sveers in a pretty strong position, maybe through the thanks of his teammate, who decided that it was a good idea to split up the top 5 with an interesting move. We say, I'm sure he'll get a humongous slap on the wrist, and it's a good job we're not doing this in real life, isn't it, Aidan? Because otherwise you'd see a lot of weedy nerds beating each other up. Put it like that, shall we?
Khan's going a bit too deep through the roller coaster section.
And also, I do say, obviously, it is only round 3, and I am aware of that. But at the same time, Ibrahim, it is only round 3. You're absolutely right. That's fair enough. But I still kind of, I don't know. Matt Richards is quite a little bit ahead as far as memory serves.
We can find out afterwards.
No, we can't. No, we cannot. Everything needs to be made up on this broadcast as we go along because we're here to really spice everything up in the wrong possible ways. Either way, though, one thing that is noted is that we can finally throw and rubbish the Ferraris not very good in long distances. Because regardless, it is a Ferrari 1-2-3 right now.
What's Ericsson driving? Corvette.
Right.
Yeah, ignore
Callaway. It's the only other non-Callaway in the Callaway Cup. Up in the top 10 is Jakubovic, who is in a Porsche.
Porker.
The old Porker boy. At the front of the field, though, coming towards roller coaster for the very final time. The Jean Lacey Esports Academy looking for a 1-2-3. It will not last. I can absolutely guarantee that. But, penalty for Ibrahim Khan. Penalty for Ibrahim Khan on the last lap of the race. There we go. That one's already been switched over. Never mind. Out of Hogpen, though, for the final time. There might have been an Oarchi earlier on in the night, but he's definitely getting his brioche. Jordi Zveer is going to come across the line to take victory for Jean Lacey Esports Academy. Get in Jordi Zveer's 1-2-3. Alan Terzic and Mohamed Patel behind. Will it last? Probably not. Luca D'Amelio for Zancho comes across the line in 4th place. And Jesper Eriksson, who was in relegation, up in 5th. Fantastic stuff for him. Here's the battle for 12th place with Vlad Tokarev in behind. I think Dan Kell is going to hang on to 12th place.
Just about. He almost lost it going into roller coaster, but he's gonna be happy with that 12th. I think he probably spent most of the race swearing in.
It's going to be 11th.
But it's 11th, yeah, because of
Khan's penalty.
Khan's penalty. He's taking it on the final lap, Schumacher style.
Does it count though? Yeah, it does count.
It does count because he hasn't crossed the line.
The line, yeah, the line's very far
your
down
results.
Here. Yeah, the line is very, very far down here. It is a 1-2-3 on the road then for Jean Lacey Esports Academy. Jordi Zveer from Terzic, from Patel, the rest of the top 10. D'Amelio and Eriksson in top 5. And then Sarah Williams. Disappointment, but that's a great hold to get 7th place even still. Could have been a podium, should have been a podium maybe. Jakubovic and Richards and Fernandez, Ilias Fernandez in the top 10. Then Dan Kell, great drive to 11th place with Vlad Tokarev, Ibrahim Khan, Juan Carlos Fernandez and Mikkel Smeedel just 15th on the road after his issues. Then the trio of Nita Velix, Tucker Hacken and Herman Stocky and Roy McDuff. Definitely not going to be happy with that. That is a bitter disappointment for Dennis Lynn's squad with Volante Racing and Waveframe Esports. It's not quite right. It was De Los Rios. Rory's retired on the last lap. Actually, no, I think he's just left. It's very confusing.
Rory pulled into the pit lane just as the winners were crossing the line.
Gotcha. Miguel de los Rios then is actually in 18th place, so ahead of Rory McDuff. And then Donat Prodan in 20th place. Andrea Terzi in 21st place from Kasper Stolzer. Not good for him. Retirements from the race. Louis-Philippe Capamachan with no rear wing. Had a massive crash, probably the biggest we'll see all season. Nick Jacobs, Timotei Andonovski, Paulie Ahonen and Pula Guslana, 27th place. And a retirement for him, of course. Yuri Toman retired from race 1, never returned. That's why there was 28 in race 1 and only 27 in today's race. Pretty frantic, pretty crazy, and it continues because we have action here from split 2. What have we got? We've got Mantas Rikas currently leading the road for Rookie Monsters. How did he do in race 1? I believe he was 3rd place on the grid, rather, so he would have finished 7th on the road. Pretty good start there for him to get this second round. Obviously, we're focusing on the drivers that are trying to move their way up into split 1.
Or back up in the case of Chris Shepherd.
Back up indeed. Currently in 4th place. Good stuff for him. Qualified in 3rd place. Ended up finishing not quite as well because he's not on my finishes list for race 1. So I'm assuming he finished a little bit further down the road. Dalton was the one that won race 1, as far as I can see. That's a nice livery on that as well.
Yeah.
That's a lovely Callaway. What are we going to see here? I wonder, considering how close the grid still is, I'm assuming they've not had their big, massive Alan Terzic dive up at the top end of the circuit. Down to the outside, Chris Shepherd goes into the roller coaster, marching his way up the order. Whoa! Nearly hold back down the inside. He's looking for a race victory, isn't he? I think we're going to see a change here for the lead. when it comes to the final moments of this race. Rikas, Veltons and Shepherd not separated by very much. There is Veltons, who we do have a Scuderia Leone to focus on in this one.
That's the only reason we're watching this.
Absolutely. We weren't normal. Obviously, we weren't going to focus until this obviously happens. Not true. Arjun Veltons, by the way, who is currently finished second back in Portland, currently leading Split 2, of course, so he's leading the charge to get into Split 1 with what I believe is a race victory in Race 1 in the best possible way of doing it, but has an Aston Martin, of all things, to try and get by. Where is Mantis Rikas in the championship? Was 7th coming into this, so maybe, with a good result like this, maybe we can see an Aston Martin making its way for Rookie Monsters up into Split 1. Very fetching with the red highlights.
There's a couple of McLarens in this split as well, isn't there?
I believe so.
Yeah. So there's a bit more variety in this split compared to the other two. So if we can get some of these other cars up into Split 1, maybe the BOP will help balance it out to all the cars.
Yeah, I think we've got 2 McLarens. So 3 McLarens.
There's a BMW in the background.
No, this is the thing. This is what we said last time, is that there's a bit more of a spread in Split 2. Lone Aston Martin, though, leading the way with a Callaway in tow. To the inside of going into roller coaster. That should be an easy move there for Scuderia Leone's Arjun Veltons. Not quite. He had to say it. It's opened the door for Chris Shepherd to come through as well. Oh, side by side. Huge respect between the two. The Callaway of Chris Shepherd for one Acco sneaks his way through, going for the up and up.
Oh, here we go. Get switched back.
Get switched back indeed.
Get boffed off as well.
Well, that was Chris Shepherd trying to turn it back in. Underneath Arjun Veltons there. I think that might have been on Chris Shepherd's part. As now Holt is also trying to get involved in this Fair Racing team. Nearly a bit of a squeeze there from the Englishman of Chris Shepherd around the outside of T1. Horseshoe, not going to work in Split 1. Not going to work in Split 2 either. Good go though.
Well, if you keep trying, eventually it's going to happen, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like when Liverpool fans said next year's our year. Eventually. After 30 years, it happened.
But will it happen for a second? Yeah, probably not. We'll have to wait.
Oh, a Mercedes.
Indeed, this is the only reason why we're focusing.
That's a good livery as well.
I still think the Aston. I think the Aston looks better. Right, so this is on board with Chris Shepherd and see how the move actually unfolded. Was just pushed out a little bit there by Mantis Rikas with Arjun Veltons, and then around the outside, Chris Shepherd goes, holds it all the way firmly around the outside, dives it maybe a little bit too steep here into Hog Pen. Nice cut back there from Arjun Veltons, and you can, they just kind of came together. I don't know if, it's kind of hard to tell from the onboard angles, but we just need a super duper slow-mo, which we're not going to get because we're approaching the final lap of the race on the penultimate one into roller coaster.
He's going to try again.
Rikas, under pressure again. This one's looking a bit better though. Oh, this one's looking much better there for Scuderia Leone.
Oh my goodness.
He's still got a nose alongside though. He's left it open. Pushed through by Chris Shepherd. Oh, come on, lads. That was a proper touring car move. A bit of ding dong. Chris Shepherd's up in the second place. Yellow flag out in sector 1 as we come round to finish the penultimate lap of the race. Mantis Rikas leads from Chris Shepherd's Veltons, Holton, Georgi Nadev as well in 5th place, who was a little bit higher up and was expecting Nadev to get his way up into Split 1. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Indeed, final lap of the race to the outside, the Callaway of Chris Shepherd trying to muscle his way around the outside. It's not going to work, and it's maybe going to open the door for Arjun Veltons to try and fire on 3. If I was Veltons, I'd be waiting, because Chris Shepherd is a pretty feisty driver, and if he tries to open the door slightly too far, it might just be enough for the Scuderia Leone driver to maybe take a victory. How fitting that would be as well, because he's driving the number 47, which from memory is Jeffrey Fournier's number, who's Chris Shepherd's teammate. So if Arjun Veltons then steals it from Chris Shepherd, it's kind of like, there's your teammate's number doing it on you. Here's a replay. We're on board with Chris Shepherd. So Mantis Rikas kind of left it there maybe a little bit. Oh, yeah, that was not pretty from
just
Rikas.
Push him through.
Yeah, that wasn't great. If I was Chris Shepherd, I also would have.
Shepherd would probably be screaming karma at that. So because he felt a bit hard done by the previous move because he was flashing down the start-finish straight. But this is going to be the last attempt at making a overtake. Can Mantis Rikas hold it on through roller coaster?
Well, There's only one way to find out, and that's to hold on to your seat with both hands and hope for the best. Here comes Chris Shepherd in the big slipstream to the inside of Roller Coaster.
Oh, my goodness.
Rikus is
Well
going to
done.
hang on as well.
Gets
Beautiful
switched back.
cutback there for Chris Shepherd as they're coming side by side. There's contact as Chris Shepherd pinched him on the inside. The Aston Martin not able to get through. Lap traffic getting past there. Here comes the Aston Martin of Mantis Rikus. Wasn't able to get it done. That was beautifully parked there from Chris Shepherd, who's going to come across the line to win in the Virginia International Raceway in Split 2 of GT Challenges. He's trying to reaffirm his way back up into Split 1. Chris Shepherd, winner from Mantis Rikus and Arjun Veltons. My goodness me, it happens everywhere we go. It's us. Oh, it's an older McLaren as well. It's a 650, not a 720.
Oh.
There's something you don't see every day. Obviously, this car was the one that was victorious here last season, because I think Cino Via actually had a 650S, not a 720, across the line in 12th place.
Here's a replay of the final move that Shepherd put on Mantis Rikus coming into Roller Coaster down the inside. Rikus goes a bit too deep, trying to cover it off, and then just beautiful switch back, a little bit of contact, but
he pinched too hard there.
Yeah. And that Ferrari's just like, nope.
That was nice. That was because what he did there was he just slowed it up a little bit more than normal through Hogpen and just didn't allow Mantis Rikus to fire it back down the inside for Rookie Monsters. A victory then for Wanako in his first round in Split 2. Things working out a little bit better there for Chris Shepherd in Split 2. Here are your finishing orders for the feature race in Split 2. Chris Shepherd from Rikus, Veltons, Holt and Nadev. Let's have a look a little bit further down as well. The top 5 coming into this, by the way. We had Velton's Jack Noller, who is nowhere to be seen inside that top 10, so I don't think we're getting a second RPM Esports car back inside the top lot. Jeffrey Rietveld as well, but we're not expecting to see him here anyway. Paul Holt, good race from him in 4th place. That'll do nicely for him. He was in the 4th place coming into this in the championship, so more good points on the board for him. Jan Venninger, who was inside the top 5 at the moment in Split 2. Reminder that he missed the first round, Sebring International Raceway, which will be his drop score. So he was there last round in Split 1, so might score some decent points. But the racing in Split 1, pretty mad. Racing in Split 2, also pretty mad. I think, Aidan, everyone needs to clean themselves up before we head to the next round.
Which is at the Nürburgring, I believe. Yeah, so a track that probably doesn't penalise mistakes as harshly as this one, but still you've got that really tight turn 1 that they're all going to be firing into on the first lap. So hopefully Jimmy will have a nice stern word with some people, and hopefully at the Nürburgring we'll get some properly good racing.
We do hope so. We'll come back in a couple of weeks' time, though, for the rFactor2 GT Challenge Series powered by VCO when we head to the Nürburgring ourselves. Halfway done in the season, and we've seen some crazy racing. Of course, a reminder that GT Pro is back a week today. So the next Monday coming up, GT Pro heads to the Nürburgring for its 4th round in the season, the 23rd of November. And of course, a big reminder, 20th of November, this coming Friday, Spa-Francorchamps coming to rFactor2. That is where our season finale, now announced on the 28th of December this year, to round out a pretty crazy year. Good for some, not so good for others. And of course, it's been a hectic year in the real world as well. We'll have to wait and see you then. The rFactor2 GT Challenge Series powered by VCO returns on the race in a couple of weeks' time at the Nürburgring. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.